The Pelicans take on Oklahoma City in New Orleans to hopefully avenge their early first round exit last year at the hands of the Suns. And I really thought that with almost the entire team back and Zion finally healthy, that we'd get to see a better New Orleans team this year, but obviously it's the same story, just another year with Zion. BroThrow has New Orleans listed at -5.5 at +100. The money line is -200. The total is 228. And you can get even money action exclusively on BroThrow from any state in the country, and you can sign up in the link below right there in the comments. But Jake, the Thunder haven't made the playoffs since 2020. Do they have the defense to stop Brandon Ingram and CJ McCollum?
Their defense is decent to okay, depending on the roster they have on the floor. Lugens Dort is a really good perimeter defender. But for me, it's not really their defense that's going to determine whether they win or lose this game. It's their offense. New Orleans is a really strong defensive team. Herb Jones, one of the best defenders in the entire league. And, New Orleans has had, as you said, they were in the playoffs last year. They have a lot more guys with playoff experience. Ingram, McCollum have been in the playoffs a ton. And I believe Oklahoma City only has one player on their entire team, Dario Saric, who has ever played in a playoff game before. So completely new territory for them. I don't necessarily know that they're prepared for the new intense style of play that happens in the playoffs.
I love how Valanciunas plays, and he's a big part of their offense on the inside. He averages 14 points and 10 rebounds. But you've got McCollum and Brandon Ingram, who are really the stars here. I think they're probably the best two players on the court.
They're definitely the best two for the Pelicans, but Shai Gilgeous-Alexander on OKC has been phenomenal this season, averaging over 31 points a game, fourth in the NBA. The guy is a bucket. He can get to the rim. He can hit mid-range. He can shoot threes. He's a complete offensive weapon. And Oklahoma City, if you haven't watched them play, you're rooted for a treat when you watch Shai. Josh Giddey is really solid number two on that team. They are kind of a one-man offense with Alexander, so that is probably the biggest issue. If the Pelicans put Herb Jones on Gilgeous-Alexander, what's that going to mean for the Oklahoma City offense?
That's the problem. Shai is their one elite player, and if you have Herb Jones who can kind of neutralize him, you make OKC one-dimensional. I saw that the Thunder are 5-4 against the spread in their last 9, and New Orleans is 6-5 against the spread at home in their last 11. So the betting history is telling us that this one could go either way.
And in terms of both these teams, I don't think either team expected to be in the play-in game whatsoever. New Orleans had way higher hopes for this season. They thought they could be, where the Kings were in that top three, making that leap to the next echelon in the NBA. But as you said, Zion unable to stay healthy again. Meanwhile, OKC had the number 2 pick in the draft last season. Chet Holmgren, he didn't even play at all this season, out for the year. And they still made it all the way from the number 2 pick to the play-in game. A very impressive showing from them. They definitely have more momentum, as you said, kind of coming up late. But, New Orleans, they're too far experienced. They're too deep as a team. I still like the Pelicans in this game.
Yeah, I'm not really worried about the 5 points. I know the Thunder average more points, but the offenses are pretty equal statistically outside of the point average. So I'm going to take New Orleans. I'm going to give the points, like I said, since Smoothie King Center is going to be rocking. Fans are super hungry for another playoff run, and I've just got a lot more faith in the Pelicans defense than I do in the entire OKC team.
I agree. I'm laying the points as well. I think Pelicans going to take care of business. I think a lot of people are going to be on OKC just because they've been a surprise team this season, but give me the Pelicans here for sure all day.
Well, that's what happens when you've got one star player the public might favor him. So it'll be interesting to see what the numbers say as we get closer to the game time. But all right, Jake, thanks for your insight.